Ah yes, we're off back to close to the Leh. We'll feel a bit safer. I think I'm going to have to catch the bus up the hill to Leh.
It's time to explore Leh and the Indus Valley on 2 wheels. We spend a day on a scooter and then opt for more power and explore some of the amazing cultural sites on our Royal Enfield cruiser. A great way to finish our time in Leh.
Today is our favourite type of day, scooter day. We're back on 2 wheels and going to head up the valley.
Wow, Leh is one hell of a military town. It's got everything. Oh, the scooter's suffering a bit at altitude. Maybe we should have got a motorbike. Okay, we made a bad decision getting a scooter in altitude. We are going to turn around and head back down and find something that's not quite so steep.
Uh-oh.
We killed it.
It's not even going.
Oh, we might have killed it. Ah yes, we're off back to close to the Leh. We'll feel a bit safer. I think I'm going to have to catch the bus up the hill to Leh. It's our destination, the Phyang Monastery. That's full throttle! Woo!
Our change of plans has led us here to the Phay Monastery, perched right on top of this beautiful valley. Not a bad view from the top of this monastery.
The Phyang Monastery and temple are stunning. There's a mix of the old and the new. The monks are really welcoming. The inside of the new temple is so pristine and detailed and gorgeous. So inside each prayer wheel are thousands and thousands of prayers written on a scroll or paper, and it's all wound up. So when you spin it, you're praying thousands of times for good fortune. So we're just coming out of the Phay village, a little detour off the main Srinagar-Leh highway, where we've popped down to have a look at the Indus River. The other benefit of this detour is that it doesn't go up any steep hills.
We think.
Our scooty is struggling. This is the Indus River. It's a really famous valley because it is the site of pretty much the oldest known human civilization. So between 4,000 and 5,000 BC, humans used this massive valley as a route to get up into the Himalayas. Would have taken them thousands of years, and so there's archaeological sites in the Indus where they found evidence of farming and tools and the things that defined the civilization, pretty much the oldest in the world. This is Spituk gompa, so another temple. This one has an amazing outlook up the valley that Leh sits in. So right in the distance you can see the Simo temple that we went to the other day, and the palace as well. Airport's down there, you get an amazing feel for the layout of Leh. The monastery at the top of the Spituk gompa hill is very traditional, very serious. Everyone's quite respectful and quiet. You do get to try some cashew kernels on the way out. Definitely worth a visit. Very mystical experience.
You get a really good feel for where this monastery is. Unlike some of the ones we've seen right up on the top of the mountains, this one is on a little rocky outcrop right next to the riverbed, so it's quite low.
It seems appropriate when we're here at the monastery to try some of the really Ladakhi dishes. So we've got a couple of snacks. The first one is kambur that's served with dahi. So kambur is very similar to a really thick wheat pita bread, and it is really, really delicious. The second is called paba. This is considered a staple food here in Ladakh. Its main ingredient is barley wheat. It's also got pea wheat in it, and it's cooked in a traditional pot called a doltok. That's served with tang tur, which is a buttermilk mixed with coriander, so that's cool as well. Perfect for these conditions. Goes really well with the paba.
What do you think I said?
Pardon?
What do you think I said?
I think you should get some GoPro. Check out this old bridge over the Indus with heaps of prayer flags. It's really pretty. This bridge over the Indus is really neat. It's covered in prayer flags. I don't know how you'd get a motorbike over it because they are really low. So we've done a bit of reading on the prayer flags, and contrary to popular belief, they are not hung as prayers to the gods. The belief is that they hang out in nature, and as they fade and the wind blows, they spread goodwill and compassion to all the people.
Once again, we have proved the value of scooter days. Just the ability to stop at cool things that you see, just like this, and check out the view whenever you want is the perfect way to see any place, especially somewhere as beautiful and scenic as Leh. Stopped off for what is called here a softie. Not a soft serve, they're softies here.
It's actually really hot down in the valley now when you're not in the scooter. Well worth it. We've just reapplied some sunscreen at the entrance to the Thiksey Monastery. This is the most photogenic of them all, the one you see on all the postcards. It's got incredible views up and down the Indus. I like this monastery because they've got signs telling you what you can and can't do. I am being encouraged to spin the prayer wheel. And I saw some monks at another monastery doing it really fast, so I know that's allowed too. Wow, this is cool.
Inside the Maitreya temple is the Maitreya statue. She's said to be the most beautiful statue in Ladakh. Work began on the statue in 1977 and took 3 years to complete. The statue is 40 foot high, made largely of terracotta brick and clay and hand painted.
We can keep going. One more flight. Wow, this is the rooftop of the amazing Thiksey temple in the Indus Valley, 15 k's east of Leh. Right on the roof, 360-degree views, so peaceful, beautiful.
Might be a good selfie.
The Thiksey Monastery is built on the summit of a really distinct hilltop in the middle of the Ladakhi Valley, about 20 kilometres east of Leh. The monastery is stunning from the bottom. It is one of the most photogenic in the whole of the Ladakh region. 100 monks live here. It was founded in 1433, and over the subsequent 600 years it's been extensively built upon. There are multiple temples. It's 30 rupees to enter. One of the cool things about this one is that you can take photos in all the temples, and they are really beautiful. We were really lucky, and the monks were praying in the main temple, and you're even allowed to take photos in there, providing you're discreet.
One of the other really cool things about visiting this monastery is for just 50 rupees you get a really good guidebook that has essentially a self-guided walk around the entire monastery with really good information and directions. And I love that sort of thing. Following a map is far easier than wandering around yourself.
We are circumambulating the monastery.
Circumambulating the word.
So the Zorawar Fort has been partially restored. It dates back to the campaigns of 1834 when the Dogras invaded east into Ladakh with the tacit approval of the British. The Dogras wanted the land, the British wanted a buffer zone between India and Russia, and it wasn't until the Chinese teamed up with the Tibetans and they forced the Dogras back. And the campaigns were extensive between the 1830s and 1840s.
And Zorawar Fort brings to a close our epic scooter day.
It's been massive. We were hoping to go further down the Indus Valley, but we didn't think our scooter was going to make it over some of the steeper hills.
Plan A didn't work, Plan B didn't work, but Plan C, just make it up as you go along, worked really well, and we've had an awesome day. After our failed attempt to reach Alchi Monastery on a little scooter, we have got a little bit smarter.
This time we're taking a 350 Royal Enfield and we will make it down the Shanti Valley to see some of the attractions we missed last time. This is the hill that defeated us on the scooter.
So long gone, feels like I'm holding on forever. Nothing's wrong, I should be feeling so much better. Everybody
We're about 2/3 of the way through our trip. We thought we'd stop for a little break and check out the view. It really is pretty as we drive through the valley. We've just come up over the top and down into this second valley, and it is really, really green.
I'm calling out for hope, 'cause now I go back on the road. I'm alone again, and I know I've been told you play, you fall, get up and go get it while you can. So long gone.
It takes a while to get anywhere, eh?
Yeah. The Alchi Monastery is very different to the other ones. Most of the ones we've seen are these big, spectacular series of buildings on the side of a huge sort of rocky outcrop. This one's quite small, but it's all about the temples. The temples there are 11th century and they're incredibly intricate and beautiful inside.
No photos, of course. It also sits right on the edge of the Indus River.
Al's turn. I'm always the driver when we're on the same bike, but it's nice to give him a go once in a while.
A popular stopping spot is here at the confluence of the Indus and the Zanskar rivers. You can go rafting. We are not going to do that. It's quite interesting to see what's obviously a very fast flowing river joining the Indus at a point where it's quite slow.
Comes and goes. They say the truth is in.
We're going to finish our time here in Leh by visiting the Shanti Stupa, a huge modern stupa that overlooks the town. It was built in the mid-80s and it's illuminated purple and green at night.
Don't think it even really matters. I'm calling out for hope, 'cause now I go back on the road. I'm alone again, and I know I've been told you play, you fall.
This stupa is huge. It has a very prominent position above the town of Leh, which means it also has a pretty epic view of the town. We really have enjoyed our time in Leh. It has been so different from the rest of India.
Experiencing the Ladakh culture, food, wonderful people, incredible scenery. There's heaps to do, it's been tons of fun. But now it's time to head south.
Been told you play, you fall, get up.
Are you feeling okay?
What do you mean?
Because you look very green.
Oh, it's a very green restaurant. Not many ladies' toilets would have a better view than this. But just be warned, there's the door.